To a military college, so I was taught a lot of discipline. I was an Army officer, so I also had a lot of discipline. I'm from the South, and in the South we learned that there are certain rules that you follow, and none of those were compatible with the counterculture, the so-called hippie movement. Now, I said I was in Chicago and that I would come back to that. Now I'll tell you the story why that's important. I was in Chicago in 1968. Actually, I was there 66 through 69, but in 1968 I was there. And that was the time when the Democratic National Convention was held in Chicago to nominate a man named Hubert Humphrey, who was going to run against Richard Nixon. And there was a lot of demonstrations at the Democratic National Convention. You may have heard stories about this where they brought out the National Guard. And they used certain things like tear gas. And Michigan Avenue was where I worked was on Michigan Avenue. It's called the Wrigley Building. And out my window I could see Illinois National Guard going up and down the streets. And one day I was out having lunch and I got tear gassed. And that's not a good feeling. I'd been exposed to that when I was in the Army because that's part of the training. You have to go into a room and take your goggles off and find your way out after your name, give your name, rank, and serial number, so you couldn't run out. So that to me was nobody following the rules. That was people, and frankly, a lot of people who were destined to go into the Army, there was a draft then, went to Canada. Because they were, in my view, chicken. They did not wish to serve their country honorably, so they served their country dishonorably. So I was very much on the conservative side of the political spectrum at the time. And because of the personal, where I came from, military college and being an Army officer. I was a captain then. And where they were not coming from. So we did not share many values. Their values were not the same as mine. So I treated them with contempt. Simple as that.